That is the place where we need to go. If I'm not mistaken. A Puritan colony, led by Reverend John Wyckoff, settled on the island during 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. Like, sometimes the freaking lore games can be too much, but this one is just... Well, I guess it's at the moment, like, after Elden Ring, because it's like just lore mostly and listening. No need to do anything. Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of this time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. A precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgery specific to malformations and motor disorders. Are we missing any? It's like... Would you read the book?
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Ah. This collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. I freaking love it how those look like. I just wish those would be something you could actually get.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, would be as much as a fake irrefutable proof of a Blavatsky's sincerity. So freaking cool. I just really hope that I manage to find all those damn... because you get achievement out of them. I haven't been really using the lantern, even though it should be used more. Because, you know, you find items that you might be missing.
What happened here?
Alfred says, the key is never full.
Let's start over. Where did they bring blood? Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
And someone tall.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Alfred is normal.
What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Well, for Alfred, that is true. Very true.
What the... Charles Hawkins? What's happening to Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
I just really don't want to miss anything. I don't think we got everything. Hopefully.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder sign is the only one able to protect the Psyche. It is in the form of cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of the heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the Great Old Ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points it to being Charles Hawkins, that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cutting that mentioned in the Miss Demure, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to finding it.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Found the sleeping pills in the bookshop. Does the bookseller suffer from insomnia? Yes, everyone. This island is us. All of us. Island of insomniacs. Oh dear. The least that can be said about this book is that its title is well conceived. The illustrations of human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart of the detachment proper to doctors to consult its pages.
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
A strange amulet. The pendant is in the shape of a large dog. I don't know what it represents and might find out more by searching the bookstore.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
A page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they'd be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother, if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference of organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find a combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. Content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. Alright. So now we need to find the 3 cylinders. Because I got to say, I definitely don't remember that out loud.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Collection of Estes American folklore and urban legends written by Albert Wilmart, professor at Michigan University. Wait.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Taken. That's something to do with those.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Okay, we found the cylinders.
Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice. A kind of chalice.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The chalice of knowledge.
Wait, 1, 2, 3. Wait. Okay, the first one is 5, I think. We're having fun with the Arkham editions, yes. So I would say the first one is 5. If I'm not insane.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Is it like 4? Either 3 or 4, I think. The final one is how many books there is, I think, but...
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of
Yes.
the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Volume 9.
The Queen has little protection. The chalice of knowledge.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? Volume 9.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
A collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on exotericism and supernatural.
What did Drake say about this collection?
This is not 9.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection?
Volume 9. Somewhere else. The Queen has a little protection, said the King to the Convinctor. Or maybe that is just to confuse me. Yeah, it was only to confuse me, yes. I was thinking it way too hard once again. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Mm-hmm. Oh, looks, it's the Sauron. On Happily. Hi, Tuffily, how are you today? In the nameless bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of an attempt burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find what the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin, light inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another's body. Lovely. Everyone at your workplace took a disagreeable pill. Oh no. So is it once again like, no, that's not a good idea. No, let's not do that.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Very well. I'll examine him. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
What chapter are you on? Chapter 8.
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky.
In chapter 8, you will be a doctor. Go to Irene's bed and look at her character and the body. You will notice she is now
Severe
diseased.
malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these
Blech.
sticky rings growing
Blech.
at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at
Yes.
these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Ouch.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced.
It's all
you see.
lyric and game. Thank you for
I
today.
even think this
Okay,
man
thank
has
you
a
for
strong
stopping by. I
chance of
appreciate it, and thank you for the
completely
lyric.
healing
Enjoy the
from his
games.
ailments.
Do tell
No,
afterwards how they
Doctor.
are working, because
This
you said that
patient
you
isn't
changed to
himself
Linux,
anymore.
so
He's dying.
definitely love to hear.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Big oof.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those?
It's hard points to go.
In his office. What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
Bonk.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects.
Now where is the lady that we are supposed to find? Hi Venom, how are you today?
Chronic insomnia. Like half the island. Hay fever. What's he doing here?
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't
Just
seem
woke
to
up,
work.
still tired.
He's undergoing a
I hope you
ventricular
slept well.
fibrillation. Nurse?
Okay, nothing special.
Deborah,
I think you
come and
need
help me,
another year
please.
of streams to
His
reach
potassium level is too
666.
high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium,
One
and
beautiful
sodium
day.
bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands. He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
I'll just sleep a bit more.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Fuller is suspicious as fuck.
What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it.
Can't take it?
Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, doctor, what should we do with this patient?
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.
Oof. Alright, where is the lady that is dead?
Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. Could this have been avoided?
Autopsy report on Irene Sanders. The autopsy was done by Dr. Fuller. He describes a wound to the right side of the head due to a shot at point blank range and comes to the conclusion that it was a suicide.
Mrs. Sanders? Oh, God!
Okay, where was the next thing that we had to do with that?
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
It's the same food with the suspicious meat in it.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking.
This is a very interesting book aimed at wide public, demonstrates how non-recognized sciences have influenced modern medicine. Magnetism, grandmother secrets, Chinese acupuncture, hypnosis, herbal medicine, alchemy and many others have contributed to a certain extent. to the enrichment of medicine at the beginning of this
I saw
century.
the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't
The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high.
dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
This pseudoscientific work by Cesar Lombarza correlates an individual's morphology with the criminal predispositions. The seriousness of this study and the accuracy of the demonstrations can deceive an uninformed reader.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just
We've been
wait
waiting to
see
be
the next
restocked
time
for
the
weeks.
water's cut off. It's a real show.
What was your first ink? You actually cannot see it.
She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up.
It's on my ear.
And I'm the one who pays.
It's
What a pest.
Black Dragon
It's
on my
so
ear leaf.
unfair.
That's my first one.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.